Live.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 6 a.m. Swingers Club Kettlebell Training with Sensei David Hills, and I am Kendra McLaughlin. It is Friday already. Wow, this week has gone by pretty quickly. For some of you.
It's been a rough week. My body is a little sore this week.
So today we're on part 5 of the Turkish Getup. So we're going to do a little bit of training on part 5 of the Turkish Getup, and then we'll go straight to our 15-minute workout. Hope everybody has their kettlebells. We're just going to wait a minute or two for people to hop on. It takes them a couple of minutes. And I hope everybody can see it. It looks a little dark on the side.
So what we're going to do today, we've actually completed the get up, but what we're going to do today is a little bit of a sort of a bonus session on it. We're going to use momentum. So it's a little bit of groundwork using momentum, getting up and down off the ground. And then we'll add the kettlebell to it. This is a little bit tricky, but I think you guys are up to it.
I guess we can go ahead and start if there's not anything else.
So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do this without the kettlebell first, and then we'll add it in. And it's going to start down here on the ground. And you're going to start with your feet straight ahead. You're going to roll back and roll back up to this position. And the only thing you're going to be aware of is don't hit the back of your head on the ground. Keep your chin tucked so that your head never hits the ground. Put your hands up like so. Roll back and back up. Go ahead. Right. Now, you don't want to roll back and leave your hips on the ground. You want to tighten your core such that your hips come up in the air and then back up. Beautiful. Because otherwise you won't be able to have the momentum to get back up. Now, the next piece I want you to do is I want you to take your feet and you're going to turn them to one side, both pointing the same direction. And you roll back and roll back up. Notice that you're on one side of your hips. Turn your feet the other way and you'll shift over to the other side. So if my feet are pointing straight ahead, my butt touches the ground at 2 points. Those little points, called the ischial tuberosities, you're going to shift over to one ischial tuberosity, roll back, and then while I'm in the air, I'm going to switch my feet to point the other direction and come back up. Now I'm up on the other side. So one more time, shift, come up. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do with the kettlebell is this. I'm going to take and imagine I have a kettlebell in one hand. I'm going to press it overhead, and I'm going to lean over onto one side and put my hand on the ground behind me to support myself. Now, I'm going to keep this hand pointed to the sky. Take this hand away, roll back, and roll back up to the same place. Right. So imagine I have the kettlebell in my hand. Keep your eyes on the kettlebell and come back up to this position. Again. Right? So that's one exercise. The other exercise we're going to do, and we're going to do this with the kettlebell in just a minute, is I'm going to bring it from the rack. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to bring it in the rack. I'm going to roll back, press the kettlebell overhead, come back, bring it to the rack. 1, 2. One more. 3. Good. Okay. Now, let me show you this with the kettlebell, and then you can do it with your own. So starting from that one we just did, with it in the rack position, I roll back, extending my arm, roll up, holding it back into the rack. Give that one a try. Straight wrist and roll back. So you want to extend your arm to the sky as you roll back. Okay, now imagine it weighs 100 pounds. Right, not bad, not bad. You feel what I'm saying? If it's, so you don't want it to be coming backwards too much when you go up. Excellent, good. Now press it to the sky. Keep it pressed to the sky. Keep your eyes on it when you roll back and then roll back up. Good. And you want to turn your feet this way and reach the hand behind you. Right. Nice. Now it's like a kickstand.
Yeah.
And now take it away, and that initiates your roll back. Okay. Now, when you use a heavier weight, it's going to be more important to keep it directly straight up and down as you go back. Right. That's really good. See it? Mm-hmm. All right. Pull that in. And set it down. Move it to the side. Now, to come up a little higher, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take your feet, take one leg and fold it 90 degrees, put it underneath the other leg. So I call this the figure 4 position, right? Because it's the, well, if you're our age, you understand, the old school closed figure 4, right? And one thing you can do is hold on to your big toe of this leg, right? And then you go back and come back up to this position. Right.
The whole bottom comes off the floor?
Yep. So your whole hips come off the floor in the same way and then come back up. Now, the reason why this has to be straight across is that when you come up, it's going to look like this. I go back and using momentum, come all the way forward to this position here, which I call Captain Morgan. Now, the bottom leg has to be perpendicular to the direction of your energy movement, right? Because if it's extended out, it's going to block you so you can't come up.
And you don't use that hand to get yourself out?
No, your goal is to not use this other hand. Now, one more thing is this. Look at my foot. I have to point my toe. If my foot's like this, it's going to block me from coming up too.
Okay.
So that has to be over this way. That's why we grab the big toe to start. It's going to take a little practice to get this, but this is what it looks like. Eventually, you let go of that hand, roll back, and up to here. Give that a try.
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to take some practice.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. This is why we want to break this down now, because when we add the kettlebell later, it's going to add a layer of complexity to it. That's okay. That's okay. You will for a while at first. Now you're going to sit back down. Now watch this. I'm going to roll back, switch my feet, and come up. So that.
So I have a problem with my hips.
Yep.
Being on the ground.
Totally. This is why you want to basically just use this exercise as a warm-up to practice getting your body moving. It's going to require momentum to get up.
Can I start by using my hands?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely. Both of these exercises, one where you use your hand to support you and this one here, you can combine them together so that you're coming up here. Give yourself a little boost. Absolutely fine. Yes.
Start.
It is, absolutely. These are
I do feel like Captain Morgan.
yeah. And then
Ahoy!
And then watch this. When you get to this position, take that back leg and turn it. So now you're in this forward lunge position. To go back down, kick it around, sit your butt back and roll back. All right.
It's Friday.
It is, it is, it is. So these are important, like I had said before, kettlebell is all about momentum. And actually, you know what? Let's just do one last piece on this that you can find helpful. Sometimes when you're all the way on the ground and you're getting ready to do your regular Turkish getup, you can't get up here. Not quite. You can take this leg and use it like a counterweight to help you get up. Give that a try. This will actually be a help for you. So you're here, you've got your kettlebell. Take this leg and pick it up. You're going to throw it down to the ground and tighten your core at the same time. Feel it? Do that a few times.
Nice. Makes it a lot easier to.
I
can use my hip.
Yeah. Right. That's what. Scoot over just a little bit. I tell folks, especially some of my elderly clients, you're lying in bed in the morning, and it's time to get up. To help you get up out of bed.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say, when it's Friday morning, how the hell am I going to get out of this bed? You do just that. Throw this leg over the side, and it's exactly the Turkish getup. Just like that. How to get out of bed in the morning on a Friday.
Hey, let's take a peek and see who we have with us today. Hey, everybody! Happy Friday! Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. 6 a.m. here, and we've got
Jackie, Rick, James.
Jackie! Hey, Jackie, how are you?
Brittany.
Jackie just had surgery. Rick Hamilton, my buddy Rick, the artist in Portland.
Very nice.
Hope Jackie is doing fine. We've sent you love and prayers on your surgery and getting better. And Brittany, thank you for joining us today. And lots of people on Instagram, thank you so much for being here with us today. So we just learned the fifth part of another part of the Turkish getup.
A little bonus section of the Turkish getup. We went through all four sections in detail over the beginning of the week. So if you missed it, watch the replays.
What are we going to be doing next week, just to kind of give them a peek?
Next week, we're going to work on the windmill, the high windmill, which is a piece of the getup, and we're going to do another piece that utilizes the same motion called the bent press. And these are particular. Is that Zenobia? Particularly good.
Zenobia.
Particularly good
All
exercises for
miss you.
Understanding your lats, and they're excellent for throwing sports.
So you're not going to want to miss next week then, because we're going to be doing a 5-part series on that as well.
Well, I'm not sure if it'll be 5 parts, but it'll definitely be a few parts.
We'll add some stuff in there.
Yeah, we should probably do 5 parts on it. Yeah, actually.
And it's Friday, so we're doing we're here Monday through Friday, by the way. So we're going to be doing our workout. So everybody, grab your kettlebells and let's get started. Which one should I start with?
Start with the heavy one. That's fine. All right, bring the kettlebell up. We're going to orbit around the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try not to move. 10, change direction. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring it to one side. Now watch this. This is a little tricky. I'm going to go around my body and up. to the center. Whew. All right, let's bring it to the side. Swing it up and stall. Press it overhead. 2 hands. Use your hips. Last one. Change hands. One. Two. Three. 4. Bring it in, set it down. Nice. Okay, so we have got a little bit of practice in now doing the snatch. So today we're going to do a little bit of an extended work with the snatch. We're going to do sets of 5, 5 on one hand, 5 on the other hand. We're going to do 30 snatches, back and forth, 5 on each side. I want the 8-kilogram kettlebell for this. All right. So these are.
Can you do one first just so
Yep.
we can see?
So I'm taking the kettlebell all the way from the bottom, keeping my elbow in close to send the trajectory up, and then all the way up to a lockout position. Ready? Let's start from the rack position. 5 on this side, we have it in the left hand, so we're going to do 5 on the left and then 5 on the right, switching back and forth. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. All the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. That's the halfway point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it in. Set it down. Nice. We're going to work up to 200.
Wow.
That's 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's the goal. The big goal here for us, 10 minutes of snatches. And we'll do it. We have plenty of time for a morning workout. Build up to be able to do that. And that's a matter of 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes of warm-up, 10 minutes of snatches, a minute or two of cool down and stretching, and you're done. Okay. Let's bring it up to the rack position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our swing to a lunge, or rather rack to a lunge. So it looks like this. I swing, step in lunge as I rack the kettlebell. Come back, swing, catch it in a rack. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another set. Change hands. 1. I stepped the wrong way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. Set it down. Whew. Super cardio exercise.
It is.
All right. So, last week, one of the things we worked on was that one arm pull-up feeling.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little bit of that. We're going to swing the kettlebell to the rack, press it overhead with our hips, but then pull it down as if we're doing a one-arm pull-up.
Using our lat.
Pulling with our lat. It's going to be particularly important for next week's training that we identify, create a strong neurological connection to our lat. Most people think that strength is about building muscle size. A lot of it, especially in the beginning, is about creating a stronger neural connection to the muscle. So it fires more consciously, more completely, and faster. So, without the kettlebell, swing, press it overhead, and now put this hand around and really feel it, pull, tighten it as you do. Imagine doing a one-arm pull. To the other hand, push it overhead. Pull, fire your lat like you're doing a pull-up. In fact, here, do this, reach 2 hands up. Imagine doing a pull-up. Fire your lat, fire your lat.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you pull it up, my wrist is this way.
Mm-hmm.
When we do we turn?
Yep, you're going to turn it until it's
Okay.
palm facing you.
Gotcha.
Just like you do when you press the kettlebell overhead and bring it back to the rack position. Because in the rack position, you want palm facing you. And then it'll rotate as you lift.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready?
We're ready. Grab the kettlebell, bring it to the rack position. Sit back into your hips, press it overhead. And now squeeze and crush the handle. Keep crushing it as you bring it down. Particularly squeeze with your pinky. And sit back into the hips, press. Squeeze with the pinky. Pull, one arm pull up. Send it overhead. 3. Overhead. 4. Overhead. 5. Change hands. Press. Now squeeze and pull. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Set it down. Now hold your hands out in front of you, close your eyes. Make loose fists. Squeeze just your pinky on one side. Do it again. Notice what happens when you squeeze your pinky. Squeeze the one on the other side. You'll notice that when you squeeze your pinky, it fires your lat. Squeeze it hard.
Fires in here.
It fires in here. It fires your lat. There's a neurological connection between grip strength of your pinky and the firing of your latissimus dorsi.
Huh. Interesting.
Right? Whenever you want to keep your lat fired tight, you're going to squeeze with the pinky. Analogously, when you drive your big toe into the ground, push, squeeze like you're making a fist with your foot. Don't lift your heel, just dig in with your big toes, and you'll feel it fire your glutes. Right?
Right here.
That's right. There's a neurological connection between the big toe and the glute. Ponder that. Okay. All right. Let's pick up our kettlebell and do 75 swings. Here we go. 2 hands on the bell. Bring it up. Begin. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. Sit it down.
Whew. Wow. Awesome.
Nicely done.
Great workout for a Friday. Thank you so much for joining us today. 6 a.m. Swimmers Club, kettlebell training and workout. So happy to have you here this morning and so happy to have your support. Oh, let me just breathe for a second.
Yeah, the cardio piece of kettlebell will sneak up on you quick.
Sending love, peace, joy, and happiness to all of those in the world who are suffering today. Sending love to all of you. And we'll see you Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day.